Thanks very much.
Smile.
How long has this been going on?
How long has what been going on?
You said you were tired.
Well, of course I'm tired. Wouldn't you be in the circumstances?
So it's no more than ordinary wear and tear.
Well, if you can call it ordinary. I've had a hellish 2 years.
I know.
Traveling, setting up the deal, I need a rest.
A long rest?
No, a couple of weeks in Norfolk for now as arranged and usual holidays later.
Because I can get you an extension, of course.
You're a very new company doctor.
What does that mean?
It means suggesting an executive take a long rest is the surest way to make him overdo things. How do I look?
You look fine. In fact, the whole board looks like a squash team. Though 2 of them have had coronaries, I believe.
Ah.
Well, that's what wives worry about.
So my wife fixed this.
No, she just said that if you mentioned it.
Yes, I can imagine. She fixes most things, does Ruth. She fixed a company car for Martin's graduation, did you know?
I heard.
Got round the managing director.
He's been muttering ever since about setting a precedent.
Probably thanking God not many kids get first at Oxford.
I'll take a proper look after your holiday, if you like.
No, you won't need to. 2 weeks of this, I'll be back on the golf course.
Good. Is there anything in your notes I should see?
No. Bout of glandular fever in '83.
Really? Well, debilitating, that. It can recur under stress. That could be our answer.
Her answer.
Lovely spot, this.
We like it.
We used to drive round here years ago, when Bill was still a houseman at Bartley General. I'd say one day this'll be us.
Have you settled in?
Never believed me, of course. I think left himself, he'd have stayed in general practice all his life. I've had to push.
Doesn't he mind?
What?
Being pushed?
Oh, no. He doesn't notice. I mean, they don't, do they?
Such an upheaval moving house. Can't think how you find time for the committee work.
Oh, well, the golf club is a priority.
It's not that we're not grateful. Most people don't want committee.
You have to put something in if you want to get something out. I was hoping you'd tell me the dirt.
What dirt?
There's always dirt, isn't there? What about the delinquent on the women's team?
Electioneering? Canvassing, you mean?
Yes.
All summer?
Not quite. You can help out if you like. Practice your typing.
Would that be stereotyping? It's miles away.
It's the next constituency.
Maybe she's not a conservative. What's it got to do with merchant banking?
I don't start that till October. Anyway, banking's just a stopgap. I'm going for politics eventually.
How about the trip to Switzerland?
Oh, let him put Britain right first.
I'm glad Sharon's found the in crowd so quickly. Martin's been wonderful.
Good.
Though she thought she'd seen the last of him at Easter.
Really? I can never keep up with the children and their friends.
Oh, they're more than friends, those two, surely. You really must let us entertain you sometime. I like to return hospitality.
Yes, yes, of course. Do you mind?
Oh, the garden?
Please.
Not that we can aspire to this. You're right out of our league. Oh, are there any leagues?
He was duly impressed by my library, if not my achievements.
I was impressed all round.
Is everything all right?
Yes. Yes, everything's fine.
Tea? 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 I mean, not lunch, not dinner. I think we've been placed.
Is that how it works?
That's how it works.
No board member has a duty to the company doctor.
Especially if he earns twice as much.
No.
Well, we are new neighbours.
Not close enough, however.
And there's Sharon.
Does he use her, that boy? I didn't like the way she said she'd stay overnight. Pointed. She should have left with us.
Perhaps we've all been used. Oh, well, at least you told Ruth what she wanted to hear.
Convincing, was I?
Is there something wrong?
Wives have a way of being the first to know.
Oh, well, if there is, she'll cope. Coping is her style. Are there any leagues?
Did you tell him about this?
No, not specifically. Why should I?
You said you talked.
Well, we did in general terms, but I wasn't going to tell him. It's the main effect of the whole thing. It'll go.
I wish you'd have an examination.
Oh, come on, Ruth. Since when has this been such a big deal for you, anyway?
What?
This, bad sex.
What do you mean?
Well, I can't imagine you're feeling unbearably frustrated.
Are you?
Look, the heat's off now. The deal's tied up. I'll get some proper rest.
There's still the demonstration.
No problem. It'll go like clockwork.
It isn't me, is it?
Ruth, for God's sake, I've told you. Listen. When's this silver wedding coming off? 6, 7 weeks?
You know perfectly well.
I'll be terrific by then. Like a ram. You'll wish you'd never said a word. It'll be better than our honeymoon.
Oh, Ruth! Oh, Ruth. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Oh, my dear, how was Norfolk?
It's all right.
And Clive?
Fine, a bit tired. What's the matter?
Oh, well, it's so embarrassing. There's been a bit of an incident.
What?
Oh, I don't think I need to tell you who. It's...
I think you do.
Well, you see, we were getting ready in the committee room for the meeting, and then the bar steward came in. He said he absolutely refused to serve any more drinks.
Don't you dare tell on me. I'll do my own talking.
Well, I've sent for a taxi.
Foiled, foiled. You lost your nerve, did you? Sent for the sheriff. Howdy, sheriff.
You leaving, Becca?
You bet. With my escort in his jag.
Well, I'll cancel the taxi then.
Who asked for a taxi? And who asked you for your ever so innocent, shit-stirring question about a certain member and his wife?
Oh, I only asked. Come on, Becca, let's go. I'm sorry if I said the wrong thing. I'm new here.
A certain member was not lost by his wife. He was mislaid. Whereas I laid him good and proper. What's your name? Is this your car?
She lost her children after the divorce. She changed a lot since.
Well, I still think she should go down on this afternoon's agenda.
Agenda's been decided.
I would have plenty of support.
I think this is rather an irregular conversation. I don't think we should be discussing these things at all.
Quick! We need a doctor.
Why? What for?
It's Clive. He's collapsed. Is Bill around?
Oh, my God.
I'll see if there's anyone else who can help.
I think it's a hospital job.
Clive! What is it, darling? What is it? What's happened? Clive?
Bruce, they're moving him to the infirmary. They could do more tests there.
What is it?
Well, it looks like viral pneumonia. We'll know in a couple of days. Don't worry.
think you can take carrying on as normal too far, myself.
How would you know? You never tried.
Is this all right?
It's fine.
The postman would have to be late.
Sackfuls of A-level results now, not just yours.
That remorseless logic.
Where's the cake knife? I might as well do that too.
I expect it's in the dining room. I'll get it.
Thanks.
Are we miffed?
I didn't ask her to help. I just said I needed to be occupied.
If the results from Dad's tests are okay, he ought to be merciful if mine aren't all that he'd hoped, don't you think? He can't have everything.
Could you tell me where G block is, please? Down there on the right. Thank you.
What a place. I thought I'd get lost. Where is he?
Let's go straight up, shall we?
If you like.
Bloody lift's gone now. Shall we just start walking?
Have you seen him?
They wouldn't let me. The specialist was with him.
Wasn't that routine?
I don't know. I don't know what the routine is in these places. It's all bloody national health bureaucracy.
Isn't Clive all right?
They're not saying.
Well, he was all right when I talked to him last night.
Was he?
What's going on?
Ask someone what's going on. Ask Clive.
Why?
You'll be told I won't.
The consultant will tell you, don't you know him?
Not personally, but I know what he specializes in. Mrs. Gregory?
Yes.
Please come in. I'm Trevor Singleton, the consultant in charge of this unit. Dr. Stanhope can wait for you outside. This is what I'm going to do, Mrs. Gregory. Mrs. Gregory.
Yes, sorry.
I'm going to leave you to talk to your husband for a few minutes. Yes. Then I'm going to come back and speak to both of you. I'll be in the next room.
Listen, I don't think I can go through with this.
We agreed it was the best way.
What is it? What have they found? It's bad, isn't it?
Listen, Ruth.
Whatever it is, we'll face it together. Now tell me.
There are one or two things that I have to tell you first. I'm going to hurt you. And disgust you. Remember, 18 months ago, on one of the first trips to New York on this deal, how we weren't hopeful. Didn't think we could bring it off. But we did bring it off. Me and the team, against all the odds, we brought it off. Well, we celebrated. I told you. There was a party. And we joined up with another group from the hotel and went to somebody's room. Someone had the idea of bringing in a floor show. Just a few rough-looking girls, really. Did a bit of pathetic dancing and stripping. And we were drunk. Stupid. There was a bit of horseplay. The girls were tarts, of course, really. Practiced. In the end, we all joined in. Ended up in bed. Got taken for a ride. It seems it's the usual sort of thing. She gave me something, that girl.
Gave you something?
Mm-hmm. She left me with something. She must have been filthy, rotten, diseased.
You mean it's some kind of...
Listen, I'm only going to say it once, and I'll never say it again. It's AIDS. That's what I've got. Do you know what it is?
What?
You heard me. You heard me. I won't say it again. I'll never say it again.
Can't be.
Done the test. It's active.
Active?
It's going to kill me. Ruth. It's...
Oh, darling. Oh. Sweetheart. Oh, darling. I don't know. Think about it. We've got to talk about this. As a way of dealing with it. I don't know.
Well, I said I disgust.
Excuse me. My name's Stanley. Company physician, Ruth Electronics. May I use your telephone?
I'm sorry. I'll have to check with Dr. Singleton first.
Surely I'm allowed to make a professional call.
I'm sorry. It is one of the rules of the unit.
Why on earth does he need to make things so difficult?
It's my experience you'll have nothing worse to face than this, if that helps. Now, at this point, I'm simply going to talk. Interrupt if you like, ask questions, or just listen. First, let's forget about blame, shall we? Let's just say the problem exists and consider what we're going to do about it, okay? In the short term, I expect Clive to become rather more acutely ill than he is right now. He's been incubating the virus for about 1.5 years, and he's in the early stages of a pneumonia, which is going to pull him down quite a bit in the next week or two. But we can get him better from that and send him home. Short convalescence, then he'll be able to go back to work, provided it's not too taxing.
Jesus, I'll give it to people.
No, you won't. Believe me. Just think, if it could be caught that easily, what do you think my chances would be? It's spread only through contact of the most intimate sort. Sexual, mainly. Straight variety or certain kinds of homosexual activity. It's also spread by received blood. Drug addicts can get it by sharing a needle with a carrier. Your prostitute may have been on heroin, or she may have caught it from a bisexual client, or she may have had infected sperm in her body. I'm sorry, I'm just airing the possibilities. We're still learning. All we know for certain is that it's on the rampage. Your residual glandular fever may possibly have lowered your resistance.
You mean I was unlucky?
Everyone who gets AIDS is unlucky, like everyone who gets hepatitis or tuberculosis. I have to ask this, what form of birth control have you been using?
No, I took care of all that. Ruth came off the pill after one of those reports.
Well, that's good. The risk to your wife is negligible. We could do a test, just to make sure.
Children?
No risk at all.
That's what they'll think. You're queer. They'll say you're really queer.
Who are they, Mrs. Gregory, and why should they be told?
Just a moment, Singleton. When am I going to be let in on this?
What do you mean?
Well, you have my patient in there.
In what sense is he your patient?
What?
I'm under no obligation to inform a company doctor of his condition. All the relevant notes will go to his GP.
He never sees his GP. I doubt if he knows him. He travels a great deal. Men like that can't go through the appointment system. They've no time. That's why the company employs me.
I dare say, nonetheless, that's the physician.
But you can't do this. There may be other people involved.
I doubt it.
Look, I know what your field is. I've seen your stuff in the journal.
If you'd read it, as opposed to having just seen it, you'd know there was no cause for alarm.
What is it? Is it syphilis? That's what I thought it was. Or is it AIDS? It's AIDS, isn't it? Otherwise, it wouldn't have been brought here so quickly.
I don't want any discussion.
The other men, the management team, they've got to be checked right away. Blood tests. Christ, some of them are still on holiday, like Clive. Get them traced. Now, presumably, I can use your telephone.
No, you can't. If it's what you think it is, you'll do no good. The chances of anyone else being infected are minute. It's extremely difficult to catch. All you'll do is spread panic and get him ostracized.
Look, it's more than my job's worth. I've only been in it 5 months.
Cushy number, that company, doctor.
Listen, I've got to live in the real world.
Where do you think I live? You should try doing a ward round with me sometime. Do nothing, say nothing.
Well, what about the medical certificate?
Leave that to me.
Mr. Gregory.
You won't want to leave it for a while. That's the usual pattern.
I don't want to know the usual pattern.
If you change your mind, we run a counselling service.
Counselling people who can't take responsibility for themselves. That's never been my problem.
Perhaps your wife, under the strain...
She feels the same.
I was thinking this morning how lovely the house looks. How glad I am I got it painted before the party.
Party?
We've been married 25 years in September.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ruth. I'm so sorry.
Well, go ahead with the party, of course.
What?
Well, the consultant said about 3 weeks.
Ruth.
And I don't want him to miss anything, any fun. I want him to enjoy everything till the very last possible moment.
Have you thought what you're going to tell the children?
Yes.
About Clive?
Yes, I'll tell them the truth, of course.
The truth?
Yes, that he's got cancer.
Cancer?
Yes. That's what it is. I thought you realized.
If there's any justice in the world, Dad should have got off lightly. Because I didn't.
What is it?
Disaster. Failed my A-levels. Told you.
We'll have to get the spare room ready for Daddy.
May I ring for a taxi?
Yes, of course.
You're still on my mind. You're still on my mind. You're still on my mind. I have tried to leave it all behind.
Gotta hand it to Ruth. I mean, I don't warm to her. If anyone can cope, she can. I go to pieces, but she'll be wonderful. She's wonderful in the Oxfam shop. She's wonderful in the committee. If anyone can save him, she can. Shall I write her a note?
She can't save him.
Well, why not? Patients before with the same prognosis.
No, I haven't.
Given 6 months. And lived 5 years. Longer, some of them.
Not this time.
Why?
He's dead, Annie. As good as.
Well, that puts it all in perspective, doesn't it? All their success.
What success, after all? Well, where's he got us, for instance?
What's wrong with you?
Only a big house, a nice neighborhood, 3 cars and a swimming pool, and a lot of hairdressing and drink and travel. You wouldn't want to lose any of that, though, would you?
I meant compared with good health. You haven't told me everything.
Bad health's easier if you're not short of a few bob.
Oh, well, they're all right, aren't they?
Annie.
You're being truthful. Now you try. Why should we lose it?
Look, if there's any trouble over this...
Trouble?
It's a powerful company, a lot of influence. If I don't handle it properly...
Handle what?
I could be back in general practice again if they'd have me at my age. Or locum work even. Stinking houses, stinking people. And it wasn't completely straight with me. It couldn't have been. That bloody so-called expert.
Now, come on, tell me.
Martin rang.
How is he?
Oh, the hospital said no visitors apart from Ruth. Treatment's pretty gruesome, apparently. Poor old Mart. He's wiped out. Ruth wants him to get back to normal, go back on the campaign. I said I'd stay and stick it out with him.
You'll be in Switzerland.
I'm going to cancel.
No, you won't.
Why not?
It's going to be morbid and unhealthy, all that. Stay out of it.
I can't stay away from Martin.
Yes, you can. You should anyway.
Oh, stop it, Bill.
Christ, you weren't expecting a wedding out of this, were you?
Daddy?
You have slept with him, haven't you? Had sex.
I don't want to talk about it. You've no right. No right.
Sharon, come here. You come up to me. Right. Now start at the beginning.
I'm getting to be unrecognizable when I'm sober, huh, things?
Oh, not too bad. Life goes on.
Yep. That's the shittiest thing about life, isn't it?
What's happening here?
Oh, it's the hospital carnival, God help us.
You're involved?
Marginally, I'm with that lot. We're here to hear the band.
I didn't know you helped out.
They helped me out. Well, that's the theory, anyway. It's what's called emotional transfer, I believe, in alcoholic circles.
Is that official?
What?
Me as an alcoholic? Well, I'm still reading the handbook to see if I qualify. But the lawyers say unless I acknowledge the problem and take steps to deal with it, I can forget reapplying for custody. So here I am dealing with it. And it can feel like a penance, can't it? This one just bit the matron. Do you think that's sex or hunger? I must go. I don't suppose I'll see you at the trial.
What?
I'm up before the golf club committee on Thursday to give an account of myself.
Really? I've not been attending.
The letter says we are not unaware of mitigating circumstances. I think I just plead guilty and bow out.
Oh, don't do that. The women's team can't spare you. I'll be there.
Okay.
Oh. Not out of bed today. I've eaten your grape. I brought you some more. Oh, doesn't it look nice? Nell will be pleased. She sends her love. They both do.
We've hit a black spot, I fear. It happens. The condition intensifies or there's a reaction to the treatment. Sometimes it's psychological.
Oh, I'm sure it's not that.
Or a combination of all three.
I met Becca Crichton helping with the fete. She sends you her regards. Everyone's asking about you. The phone never stops ringing.
He got a case of champagne this morning from his company.
Oh, that was kind of them. Have you had some? Is he allowed? Or why don't we all have some?
He put it in the auction of the fete.
Oh, well, it's in a good cause.
Is that a regular thing, getting champagne?
No, only the has-beens.
That's nonsense. It's just my winning ways with the MD again.
Puncture time. We're stepping them up for a few days. There's nothing to worry about.
Well, I think I'll just...
There's no need. You can stay.
No, really.
We've got a thing about injections.
No, she's got a thing about my body.
What's happening to him?
Bitterness, guilt, fear. The champagne was unfortunate. He thinks it means he's lost his job, which would suggest somebody's told the company.
Surely not. Not Bill Stanley.
You may have to revise your plans.
No plans except to get him home and take care of him.
You mean until he dies? Which you hope he'll do painlessly and comparatively swiftly before anyone else knows the truth?
Yes?
Suppose the truth gets out.
I'll deny it.
Is there someone you can talk to? Parents, a brother?
I have a sister in New Zealand, no parents.
What about Clive?
His mother lives in Harrogate. She's ill herself and very old. I see no point in upsetting her.
There's a young man down there, Maury, who's in roughly the same condition as your husband.
Isn't that confidential information?
I have his permission.
Well, I hope you didn't get it on my account.
I didn't ask for it at all. It was volunteered. That's his lover with him, Scott. Let me introduce you. Scott's kept him alive longer than anyone would have thought possible. Why don't you talk to them?
I've led a very conventional life. You might call it sheltered. There are some things I can't experience.
You share a major experience with those two.
It's not the same.
Mrs. Gregory, your husband asks if you'll excuse him. He says he wants to rest after the injection.
Thank you.
Clive wasn't so sheltered.
You know that now.
But even he wouldn't want to have any truck with queers.
Think you go too far?
I'd like to know what you feel.
It doesn't matter what I feel. What matters is how I behave. I have to protect my family.
I only hope you manage it.
Have you got a minute, Bill? Yes, what is it? You want it in the gym. Another pulled muscle? Probably. Won't take a minute. Well, where's the pulled muscle? It's not you, is it, Jeff? You said that...
We just needed a word. Since you've been relentlessly unavailable for more than a week. Look at that. Been testing your strength. The mate's life still got some. We thought a little ruse was in order.
Yes, well, look, I can't stay here. I've got work.
Oh, we've all got work. We don't need long.
How's the blood?
Blood?
Pretty thin stuff, mine, I suppose. Spend too much time at high altitude.
So, what's this all about?
I was called for a medical last Thursday.
Mine was Wednesday.
My routine checkup wasn't due for 2 months.
6 weeks. And taking blood's a new thing, isn't it?
I told you, it's administrative convenience. We're establishing new guidelines.
Is that all?
Well, look, there's a bit of a flap on in the company in case you lot are overworked.
Balls. Is it because of Clive?
Indirectly, yes.
Clive wasn't overworked. He loved it. Cancer's just one of those things, right? Nothing to do with overwork. Poor bugger. How is he?
He's hopeful of a remission. Very hopeful.
No visitors.
He'll be back at work then.
Possibly.
If that's the way it is. Someone said he'd had the champagne.
Sorry, I don't know what you mean.
Look, 5 members of the senior management team have been tested so far.
Now, there's only one job that we're all on, and that's back in the States in '84.
So?
We were at the A.I.D.S plant, briefly.
Waltram, upstate New York. Oh, come on, Bill. The A.I.D.S plant's under observation now.
For not doing a radioactive spring clean.
No. You're barking up the wrong tree there. By the way, your blood's fine. Pure vodka. Both of you.
Look, sorry about this, Bill. But you know how it is. Rub shoulders with someone who's bad news, and before you know where you are...
You're fighting for video analysis with all the other unemployables.
Yeah, well, I have to go.
See you on the 14th.
14th?
Ruth and Clive's knees up, isn't it? She seems hell-bent on going through with it.
Yes, well, we've not been invited.
Yeah, well, it's duty for us, really, merrymaking.
Yes, well, cheers.
Which street do we bark up?
Martin?
Look, I'm sorry, I've got another helper. Anyway, you're a week behind on tactics.
Look, I can't stay long. Listen, I am going to Switzerland.
Sharon, I don't care if you're going to the Labour Committee rooms. All right.
I don't want to go. It's Mum and Dad, they're making me.
What, a great big girl like you?
Stop it. Listen, they said I had to be out of the way. It's something terrible, really terrible. It's something to do with your dad.
It's what?
Look, it's much worse than you think.
What are you talking about?
I shouldn't be here. I just wanted to let you know why I hadn't been seeing you.
What is it about Dad? Sharon, for God's sake.
Look, I can't tell you. I can't tell you.
Offenders shouldn't go unpunished, and I have offended, haven't I? More than once. I'm sorry. Please don't throw me out of the club. Golf's my only healthy pastime and the world's greatest hangover cure. Also, the team needs me.
The team will survive.
It wouldn't win, however.
I'll steer clear of the Remy Martin and the male members of the club, as far as possible.
Sorry I'm late.
Not at all, Ruth. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
May I say, on behalf of everyone...
No, please don't let me interrupt.
You missed my impassioned plea. I really don't know what else to say. I'll do detention, if you like. On the 8th green, tied to the flagpole. Or I'll look for 100 lost balls. Some might say lost balls were my speciality. Sorry. If I've made a pass at any of your husbands, please take it as a comment of your good taste.
All right, Becca, point taken. Would you mind waiting outside for a moment?
Go back to matron in the Sam, you mean? Not at all.
Cocky, isn't she?
Personally, I don't buy all that.
How long is it since her last scrape?
Couple of months.
Well, why not say if she keeps quiet, she can apply for membership at the end of the year like everyone else. If not, we'll have to take another look.
That sounds reasonable.
I'm sorry. I am sorry. It doesn't seem reasonable to me. I happen to believe that people have to take the consequences of their actions.
Me too.
Becca lives with the consequences of her actions, unhappily enough. Some of us know her circumstances.
Oh, well, we can all claim special circumstances. The fact is, we are members of this club because it is the best in the area. If we allow things like that to go on, I mean, it's so embarrassing. People will go elsewhere. It's a matter of loyalty. I mean, just suppose that Bill, for instance, was disloyal to his firm. Well, he'd lose his job if he didn't stick to the rules. That is all we're asking.
Well, if there are strong feelings, I didn't want to put it to the vote, but it looks as if I'll have to. For Becca? Against? I'll throw mine in with you, Ruth. Someone tell Becca she's off the hook.
Whoopee! I'd offer to buy drinks, but that hardly seems appropriate, so... Coffee, anyone? Straight cocoa in the bar.
That's Ruth's glass.
Oh, is it? I didn't get matters.
Oh, well, better to be safe.
I can't be on Funds.
To bed.
We have guests.
Not, however, as many as we'd expected. 50 invitations, isn't it?
Doesn't matter.
Oh, come on, Ruth. Give it a rest. They know. The ones who didn't come.
Don't raise your voice.
Company, the golf club, they know. And Martin.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he doesn't even look at me now. He hardly comes home.
He's been offered a room near his headquarters.
He knows.
You've got to go through with this tonight.
I'll make my excuses, sir. I'm exhausted.
No, you owe it to me and to the children.
But especially to you. It's over, isn't it?
Don't. Not now. I haven't thought it through yet. Not even how I feel about your being unfaithful.
Unfaithful? I've never been unfaithful to you in my life. I poked some dirty little tart when I was too pissed to show good judgment. And now I'm paying for it.
Had you done it before?
What? Oh, Jesus.
Had you?
It's not important. I spent a great deal of time away from home.
You had, hadn't you?
I said it's not important. I thought you probably guessed.
Were they all girls?
Sorry, it's the bad fairy. I know it's invitation only, and some of those who had them didn't deserve them.
You're welcome.
I've rounded up a few other uninvited well-wishers. They'll clear the food in any case.
Oh, please go through it.
Come on, come in.
There's plenty of food. Please. Thank you.
There's talk in these parts. I didn't want to listen, but it's coming up through the drains now. If there's anyone you don't want to hear about it that way, tell them yourselves, and soon.
This is Dennis.
Is it good?
Unlikely name somehow, isn't it? You should talk to him. You've got something in common.
It's not that bad. I did warn you about that shirt. Clive, what are you doing up there? Are you being a social outcast? You come down here, you meet another one.
Hello, Becca.
How you doing?
Bloody awful.
Come on. Come on, Dennis.
Thank you so much.
Hello, Vicar. You're not leaving?
Well,
Not before we've danced. Don't I recall a fever gotten over? That's not Martin. I don't believe it. Oh, I'm sorry, Vicar. You've dropped to second place. What marvelous food. That pavlova won't stay unraped for long. Well, can one get a drink around here? I'll regret champagne, but what's one more regret? More or less? Wonderful, I should think so. Have you missed the toast? Has no one proposed a toast? Oh, come on. We must have a toast. All right? I will. Quiet, everyone. A toast. Ruth and Clive. Ruth and Clive.
Ruth and Clive. Ruth and Clive.
Intimate Contact continues at the same time next week.
A paperback novel of Intimate Contact, published by Sphere Books, is now available in bookshops at £2.50.